Let me fucking scoot back a little so I don't punch the microphone.
Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Maybe that one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Filmoscopy Podcast.
A political podcast.
A political podcast. Today we're going to be discussing...
Why neo-Nazis aren't so bad.
God.
God.
We're going to be discussing how great Doge is and how funny that name is. Totally not out of date at all. Hey, did you guys see the Gooneral?
The what?
Yeah,
No.
the Gooneral. So it's a goon funeral.
Oh my god.
Shit. I dropped my
What the
phone.
fuck? Are we talking about a goon like in hockey? Is everybody okay? Somebody die?
Sorry about that.
Owen?
Yeah. I was stretching out and I pulled my phone down and it unplugged my headphones.
I was like,
Hey,
what do
he
you
was
mean
stretching
goon?
out,
Like
getting ready
gooneral?
to
What does that
goon.
mean?
Yeah, I was getting ready to goon for in memoriam. So what had happened was there was this guy who was like driving through so I guess in the West Coast they have these like bikini baristas where these girls make coffees while they're all dressed up and have their jiggly bits and tits out and stuff.
Jiggly. Oh, dude. You should have said jiggly tits and bits out. Jiggly bits is kind of gross. I don't know what the fuck's jiggling.
Jiggly
That's
tits and
fucking
bits.
much.
So this guy pulls up in his so this lady's recording this video, and this guy pulls up in his black Dodge Challenger. That's a V6. And she goes up to like the car window and she's like, "Hello, sir. Have you been here before?" And he's like smiling. And he's like, "Yeah, I've been here." And then she gets closer and she like pans down into the car and the dude has no pants on. And then she's like, "Sir, that is sick. That is disgusting. You need to leave now." And the dude's face immediately goes from like a smile to like an immediate like concerned frown. And then he drives away very slowly. So this video was posted online, and I guess it took a little while, but it got some traction. And then people soon found out directly after that the dude had killed himself, like before it had even gotten like popular. So people were calling him were saying that he committed goonicide, which is basically he killed himself by gooning. So after that, people on TikTok got together and they did like an event. They had a gooneral for him at that barista place where they all showed up and people were wearing like the t-shirts with who's the fucking dead rapper? XXXTentacion or whatever the fuck his name is. They had like his face, and then they had XXX's face like superimposed on each other. Because they,
shit.
Sorry.
That motherfucker is dead. I didn't realize he was dead.
Yeah, they had this face like together, and they were like holding a vigil, and they did like all sorts of, they did like little speeches and shit, and all sorts
21 goon salute.
Yeah, they did a 21 goon salute. That's right.
A 21 rope salute.
But yeah, so it's just all around a pretty fucking like goofy event, and I just wanted to share that.
That'd be so gross. 21 rope salute.
The 21 rope salute. It's just
three rows of 7.
I saw somebody say that the reason he killed himself was because he was driving a V6 instead of a V8.
So did this guy really commit suicide?
Yeah, he did before the video even got popular because, I don't know, he didn't want to be embarrassed or whatever.
Oh,
So you're trying to tell me he didn't get to see his success?
Yeah, his gooning was his undoing.
What the fuck does gooning mean? Jerking off?
It's when you're like obsessed with jerking off and you're like jerking off like 24/7, like nonstop, basically.
It feels exhausting and dehydrating.
Maybe what I'm thinking of is edging.
Well, edging and gooning are
fuck
very
is edging?
similar. It's just that gooning is like edging, but it's like a prolonged process. Like you're doing it for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But isn't like edging is like where you avoid climax, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
As a gooner myself.
So I will say this: if you don't climax, you're edging, but if you climax, you're a gooner, right?
I think
Like,
is
this kind of like when magma is underneath the ground and it shoots out and becomes lava?
No, gooning,
it's literally the same thing.
Gooning, you don't nut. It's like gooning is like edging, but like fucking.
Okay.
So you have Ninja Gaiden, right? And then you have Ninja Gaiden Black. Edging is like Ninja Gaiden, and gooning is like Ninja Gaiden Black.
Basically gooning, you're jacking it, but you're just like maybe like doing a little bit here and there throughout the day or whatever.
Yeah, you're like coming back to it. You're like,
Okay.
put a pin in that and
Cody.
finish it later.
Cody, explain this to me. Cody, explain this into Mega Man X terms. Is like an edger is like 0 with red armor, and a gooner is 0 with black armor. Is that what this is like?
Sure, let's go with that.
So Zero's cooler than Mega Man, right?
No, he's red.
Okay, but isn't it commonly held that Zero is
He's
cooler?
easier gameplay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Zero's
yeah, I mean he's
cooler.
got a lightsaber.
Yeah,
And then I want to say in X5 he has a Z blaster.
yeah.
But for me, I never was good playing with Mega Man X, just because all he has is a blaster, where it's the range of motion when you're shooting at your enemies is a lot more difficult. I guess Zero's the easier gameplay, where you're just kind of like, because eventually he does this where you jump up and you hit the button, he'll do a somersault with the lightsaber going around in a circle, so you're able to have more ways of attacking.
Mega Man
So,
is like masturbating because he actually fires his weapon. And gooning is like 0 because he doesn't have a blaster or he doesn't shoot a blaster.
Okay.
Shoots.
I really thought we were about to do a thing like this is like one side is like magma because it's underneath ground, but as soon as oxygen hits it becomes lava. So that always blew my mind. Like it was like literally the only thing keeping magma from actually being lava is just when oxygen hits it. So once it busts through the ground, it is no longer magma, it is lava. I'm like, what if you see the hole where it's coming out of? Is that magma going into lava? How does that work? And
Magma
all your shit.
is to smegma as lava is to nut.
Smegma. Sigma, not sex, smegma.
You know what smegma is?
No, what is that?
Do you know what that is, Owen?
Yeah, it's when you don't wash your cock and you got like old crusty nut in your foreskin.
That's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of like basically it's like the pre stuff that
That's just pre-cum, dude. Smegma is specifically like the nasty dick cheese that you get when you don't wash.
Oh, God.
A little pussy pearl.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Smegma is a natural, odorless, white or yellowish substance that accumulates under the foreskin in uncircumcised males and between the labia and females.
Oh,
Smegma.
man, dude. Like,
It
could
is
you imagine?
It is a mixture
Like-
of dead skin cells, sebaceous gland secretions, and
I'm getting hungry.
Oh,
I
God.
feel like eating a cheese pizza right now or something.
Oh! Hey, does anybody got any yogurt?
Yogurt? Did you say yogurt?
Yeah.
I feel like eating some
Lord.
cottage cheese right now.
Oh, God. Dang it, man. It's
God.
just... Ugh.
Schmack.
Yuck.
So what were you trying to do with the you were talking
I'm
about
talking
pre-cum.
Yeah. So, I was wrong on that one.
He says pre-cum is like the magma and lava is the cum.
we're all learning something today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Sex Ed podcast.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. The only thing I associate the term goon with is the movie The Goon, which is
Yeah, that's the
that
movie
guy
where
from
he beat
American
the
Pie.
hockey player.
Yeah. So everybody kept saying, "I'm just gonna goon." I'm like, "You just gonna beat the shit out of somebody?" Or like,
Well,
you know-
the new term, the new like Gen Alpha term or whatever, that's kind of like already gotten on my fucking nerves is crashing out.
You're finna crash out, man.
Like I see a bunch of like shorts or whatever pop up on YouTube now where it's like top 5 public crash outs. It's like, come the fuck on, man. Like, what
like,
is this?
In Crash Out, you talking about somebody like getting mad and yelling at people?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
basically someone like just like snapping or freaking out, or it's like public freakouts, but like they
Yeah.
call it crash out now.
I'm finna,
Dude, crashing out is falling asleep.
Yeah, I know.
I'm finna crash out.
just like I used to come home with terms I'd hear in high school. My dad'd be like, "What the hell does that mean?" And I go, "Oh, you're so old." But now I'm just like, I feel like even then, at like the peak of the new metal era, going into like everybody listened to rap and hip hop that I grew up in, that we had better terms than these little dumbasses have now. It truly feels like to me, at some point.
I don't think anything's gonna be worse than this fucking skibbity toilet crap.
Skibbity toilet.
Oh my
No,
god!
but Skibbity toilet actually
That
has
is-
good lore, though.
Oh my god.
Look, hey, look. No, seriously, guys, we got to talk about this real quick. Savannah's son Riley is obsessed with that shit. He watches the episodes this person puts out with Skibbity Toilet, and Savannah found somewhere on some godforsaken Temu a Skibbity Toilet miniature replica toilet that opens up with his head there.
That's awesome.
And I mean, that stuff is. I thought it was the definition of brain rot. And then he started watching.
They sell skibbity toilet toys in the like at Walmart now.
Yeah, they have them at Target.
Dude. Like, but here's the thing. Riley started watching this thing called Animal Nightmares. And this person will splice in images or videos of a dog inside of a person's shirt where his head's coming out of his of the neck, and then the humans doing shit. And it, like, I've seen this kind of stuff before years ago. Like, it was funny, it was a little commercial, whatever. But they're putting images of that and then drawing some weird shit and then showing a black window. Like, hey, Riley goes, "Did you see it in the window?" And Savannah will look at me and go, "No, Riley." He goes, "Man, it's so terrifying." And we and her look at each other like, what in the actual fuck is going on?
Y'all gonna,
like,
y'all
this
gonna
is the
hear him in the
definition.
middle of the night one night, walk into his room. He's gonna be like sitting there staring at the wall.
He's like, "Do you
Oh
see
my
it?"
God, One time, man, he said, "There's somebody at the window," and I went downstairs and there's nobody in the fucking window. I'm like, "Riley, just why don't you go downstairs and play your game?" He goes, "Man, it terrified me." And another time I was in the toilet. Not toilet, I was in the shower. He come in there, he goes, he ran upstairs, "Lance, there's someone in the window." And I'm thinking, "Oh, Jesus Christ, Riley, no, there's not." And he goes, "No, there is." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I have shampoo in my hair." I'm like, "Okay, Riley, hold on a second, just go in your room. Let me get my towel. I throw my dirty clothes back on, throw in a hat." But sure enough, my neighbor was knocking on the door because they were doing like some quick roof rework. He wanted to make sure no damage hit my truck, so I moved my truck out of the way. But there's somebody in that time was in the window. But Riley does this shit. He goes, "I got freaked out," and he'll watch this weird shit. But then you show him actual scary shit, and he goes, "No, I have nightmares." I'm like, "Dude, you got so much brain rot. I don't think you could process nightmares." Is what I'm thinking. He goes, "It's not brain rot," and I go, "Yeah, it is."
Hey,
Because you have to get his attention.
I need to run downstairs real quick. I'll be back in a minute.
He's like,
He's gonna go poop.
he said, "There's somebody in the window downstairs."
He's like, "I gotta go goon, guys. Hold on one second." It's 7:05. I'm 5 minutes past me gooning.
Yeah, it's the goons.
So,
He's got to go back to it.
So Owen,
Yes.
this movie, did you know that Michael Madsen's character
Mhm.
and John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction are brothers?
Yeah, they both have the Vega last name, right?
Yes. Now, did you know that Michael Madsen was supposed to be in Pulp Fiction and decided to go with William Costner's Wyatt Earp instead? So that's why there's a different Vega character in Pulp Fiction. I think he was supposed to be the same character in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I read that up.
It would,
Yeah. This
set it before this movie, obviously, because he gets fucking, killed.
Yeah, that shocked the fuck out of me when he got killed.
Yeah.
It's like, holy fuck, man. Like, this movie was really, I'm not gonna lie to you, this movie was kind of slow for an hour and a half. But the action parts were pretty fucking awesome. And some of the dialogue was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought
think
some
that,
of the dialogue was kind of just funny in it.
Yeah, some of it was funny, but some of it was like, good lord, like, just keep, like, that's not, it wasn't interesting to me. Some, like, the first dialogue, the movie didn't get interesting to me till about 12 minutes in, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's his name? Hold on, I gotta look up that guy's name real quick. Got Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I like that guy, too.
Steve Buscemi. I think Steve Buscemi carries this movie when he's in it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's rocking it.
I wonder if he goons.
I think Harvey
Harvey
Keitel does, Harvey Keitel, or however the fuck you say his name. I think he does a pretty good job.
That's the main guy, right?
Yeah, that's Mr. White. He sells being like a grizzled old, criminal pretty well.
Yeah, I think he's really good too. I just think everybody else is kind of like, for me, I recognize everybody. It's like, it's okay.
I said, wait, that's Quentin Tarantino. What the fuck? I said, he's in.
Yeah, the way he talks like I don't know if you've ever seen an episode of the old sitcom called Taxi that Andy Kaufman was in.
It was a TV show, you said?
It was a sitcom named Taxi.
No.
He portrays a foreign character from like Europe, and he talks like, yeah, but then, like all that stuff. And the way he talks in that reminds me of how Tarantino delivers his lines the way he talks.
He's like, hey guys.
It's just he doesn't even say it like that. He just, you just have to like YouTube it. I'll send you a clip of it.
He's like
to me, that's what he fucking
yeah,
reminds
just
me of.
how I'm thinking Tarantino talks. He's like, yeah, so this girl, she just likes a big freaking dick, like a big dick in her pussy, like like I really
that whole conversation. I don't know, man. I know everybody like jerks off Tarantino as a film director, and I think he makes really good movies. But when he's in the movies, it's kind of shitty, like his scenes.
I think he always casts himself really well because he casts himself as these fucking like weirdos, like these dorky weirdos.
No, he is who he plays.
Yeah, exactly. I think he knows like what he looks and sounds like. So, but I do agree. It is distracting having him in there because you're gonna be like. And I mean, this is his first movie, so you could say, like, yeah, people really didn't know him. But now when you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's Tarantino.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like his scenes are just kind of wasted, to be honest with you. Like, I just wait for him to die in his movies and shit like that. The only time I ever thought he was, like, entertaining was him in From Dusk Till Dawn when that girl's like, he's imagining her saying, do you want to lick my pussy? He's like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you want to lick my toes? And he's like, yeah. Have you seen the video of Quentin Tarantino he's like at a Starbucks and there's this paparazzi guy filming it and he's like harassing him. And Quentin Tarantino's like trying to like tell him to fuck off basically. And he's like, threatening him a little bit. But he has this cup of Starbucks coffee and he takes a drink of it, and you can tell that he's like burning his mouth because he like makes a like he takes the first sip, and you can tell that he burnt his mouth because he goes like, but he's still trying to look like he's badass and hard, so he's like kind of tries to like like play it off like he's cool and he meant to do it. It's really funny.
I need to look that up. I hadn't seen that video.
Yeah.
He sounds like the fucking
He's
dork
like,
he is.
he's like, he's like, if you turn that camera off, I'd be kicking your ass up and down this street. And then he takes a little sip.
Okay, I've heard the audio. I never paid attention to the visual of him doing that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Like if you watch the video, look where he takes his first sip, and you can tell he burns his mouth. It's so funny. He's like, I'd be kicking your ass up and down the street. He's like, do it then.
What a fucking dork, man.
Like, I get it.
Have you seen this movie before today?
Have I seen it? No. I just picked it just as an excuse to watch it because I wanted to get around to watching it eventually.
Yeah. This is the first time I watched it too. I was just curious.
Because I like Pulp Fiction a lot. And
Yeah, that movie's good. It's a big improvement over this movie 3 years later.
Yeah. Definitely you could tell they worked the budget. One of the things I feel like this works for the movie, but it also kind of constrains it just being limited to the one set pretty much. Like you can tell this movie doesn't have a very big budget basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like they try they make it work okay.
I'm back.
Gonna do it my way.
He's back. The man behind the mask.
You put the dick
And
in the
he's
big
out
ol'
of
butt.
control.
You fuck it all up.
All right, let's talk about this movie, guys.
You put the dick
We have
in the
been.
big gay butt. You fuck it all up.
Cody, was this the first time you ever watched Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah. And
Is this the last time you were watching
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs?
yeah, I did not like this movie at all.
What
Is it because they use the N word?
is that?
No.
Oh, so you enjoy the fact that he used
he
the
watched
N-word.
this with his black stepdad.
So this is one of those movies that I've always heard like mentioned as being like one of Tarantino's like best films, right?
Yeah.
And I went into it, and at
Yeah.
first I'm like, the premise, so when it starts, right, and it's them eating at the restaurant, and then it cuts to like the next thing you see or the next scene is like the guy bleeding in the car,
Yeah.
and they meet at the warehouse, and then like the Steve Buscemi's character shows up, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting in the way of like they're meeting here and trying to piece together who it was that is like the rat
them out.
right? And I thought that is such a cool thing. Get little bits and pieces of like what went down and like flashbacks, but I just think it dropped the ball with that storytelling. So like, I mean, the actors are good. The premise is good, but the execution is flawed. It does some of that stuff I don't like about like movies from like the 70s where like some shots just linger way too long.
Yeah.
So that always bothers me in movies when that happens.
Cody.
And
Cody, real
What?
quick. This movie has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and is looked at as the greatest independent film of all time. So you can go fuck yourself.
that's fine. They can think that, but they're wrong.
What about Morbius?
Look, hey,
Morbius
Cody.
has a 90.
Okay, hold on. All right, listen here. I was about to make this joke like, Cody, it's you versus Tarantino, like it's my Morbius versus Nosferatu, okay? I'm right there with you, brother.
Cody, do you just in general
Cody,
not like Tarantino?
Morbius?
Let me see. I know he did The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
No,
Maybe.
that's Scorsese.
Let me look up his filmography real quick because I was
That's
thinking
more-
of that
that's
earlier.
I think he
that's
put the
Martin
lime in the
Scorsese, man.
coconut. And then he drank them
drank it all
both
up.
up. Yeah. No, the Wolf of Wall
Drink.
The Wolf of Wall Street was
Your
Scorsese, dude.
Oh,
I
what the
did say
fuck?
Scorsese. You guys are ignoring me.
Well, let's see. So there was Reservoir Dogs. I like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Never seen Jackie Brown or either of the Kill Bill movies. Never seen Death Proof. I like Inglourious Bastards. I like Django Unchained. And I've never seen The Hateful Eight or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. So I've seen 3 of his movies, or 4 of his movies now, and I like 3 out of the 4 I've seen. I just don't like this movie. Like I said in the beginning, I was really into it. I thought the setup was great, and I think it's almost like it's a good idea, but then there's like a struggle to figure out how to make this into like a feature length film, right? Where too much of it dragged on in the middle. Where it's like, oh man, my God, you guys are just talking in fucking circles. This is not entertaining anymore. You know, we got a rat.
I gotta say,
how do you know we have a rat? No, it wasn't a fucking setup. We have a rat in here. They were there way too quick. No, that's not what happened. Okay, let's have this conversation for fucking 10 minutes. Like it's not entertaining. Like it's not interesting. So I don't understand why I think people in hindsight go back to this movie and they're like, oh, Quentin Tarantino, he's fantastic. You know, like it's
Cody,
okay
what
to say
to say
a director's first film is not that fucking great.
Yeah.
You know,
Cody. Hey,
yeah.
What are they doing when they're glork? Are they gooning?
They're sucking that dick.
Are they edging or gooning him?
Is it magma or is it lava?
Are they doing it?
Is it red zero or is it black zero?
Are they doing it with their feet, as he so prefers?
This is interesting because I'll say this: the first 8-9 minutes of this movie was very boring to me, and then the rest of it was okay. Like when they got past the Tarantino part, when he was just talking majority of the lines around the breakfast table, that shit irritated me.
The breakfast scene or whatever went on way too fucking long too. It's like I don't need a whole diatribe from Steve Buscemi's character about why he doesn't want to fucking tip a waitress.
Yeah.
Like this is a conversation I've had in real fucking life. I don't want to see it on film.
Yeah, that's a big thing with especially these early Tarantino movies is he likes to do the mundane conversation shit.
Hey Cody, real quick. Is the tipping the waitress when your wife cooks and you're not going to tip her at home? And you're like, I'm not tipping you, all right? I pay for your house. So. It's like I was telling him anytime Tarantino's on the screen, I feel like it's just a waste. He's not a good actor. I know he knows he's not a good actor. But I'm just like.
But he puts himself in every movie he makes, doesn't he?
He used to. He don't do it in the later movies.
I don't think so. I don't know if he does anymore.
Like in
I'm gonna send you guys
Inglourious Bastards. He's a filthy little Nazi.
He's a rat bastard.
I don't know if he's
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he stars in that movie or not. But no, Cody, I'm gonna send you guys in the group chat. I was telling Owen while you were gone that there's an old sitcom called Taxi, and Andy Kaufman played on it, and he does this kind of he makes these weird voices and shit like that. And he's supposed to be a foreigner from Europe. And when he talks like that, he sounds just like fucking Tarantino. I'll send it to you guys. And it's like Tarantino's just kind of Steve Buscemi. I was saying when he's on screen in this movie, other than the breakfast part, he's probably the best actor in this movie.
Yeah,
I think the main guy, Owen, what was his name again?
Who? Harvey Keitel.
The main guy.
The fuck?
You talking about Tim?
Yeah,
Roth
the Harvey Keitel.
Hmm?
Harvey Keitel's he was really good in this movie too. Everybody else was kind of not given enough screen time or just hit and miss. The one thing you did miss, Cody, we were talking about, Michael Madsen, who is Mr. Who is he, Owen?
He's Mr. Blue.
Mr.
Blue
Blue, the
Chew.
Vega guy.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. Cody, that guy is supposed to be John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction's brother.
My brother.
Is Mr. Blue's the one that dies off screen, right?
No, Mr. Blue.
No, that's the old guy. No, he's not Mr.
The
Blue.
crazy asshole.
No, he's. No. Hold on. You're messing it up, Owen. You're fucking it up, man.
You're fucking it up.
No, because I thought at the end when the main
Mr.
guy
Blonde
comes in, he's like, oh, Mr. Blue. He's like, Mr. Blue and Mr. So and so are dead.
Mr. Blue
And,
Chew.
yeah.
You're right. It is
Steve-
Mr.
Steve-
Blonde.
yeah.
It's Mr. Blonde. So it's Vic Vega, and then Travolta's character is something Vega in Pulp Fiction.
His Vincent.
So Vincent Vega.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be brothers. It was supposed to be the same character, or at least the same actor. But Michael Madsen ended up going to do a different movie instead of doing Pulp Fiction with Tarantino. Why y'all laughing?
Okay.
I just thought it was funny about the pregnant pause there.
yeah.
Oh.
That's all I thought was funny.
Hold on.
Another
this-
issue I had with like the way this film played out, like I think the ending just like completely like, I mean, the ending was a big flop in my opinion.
Yeah,
because,
it was anticlimactic for sure.
yeah, and like I get like the whole like the
It was an
standoff,
unsuccessful edging.
Yeah.
the standoff thing is like okay,
yeah, it's like
that's
nutting,
fine.
and it's like when you're jacking off and your nut's not very good.
The standoff at the end and all that's fine, but the thing that bothers me is when Joe comes in and he's like, "This motherfucker's the rat," and it's like, how do you? And the one guy's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "I just got a feeling about it." It's like, really? Like that's what we're going with? It's like he walks in and says, "I got a fucking feeling about this." This is how you're gonna end this? You're not gonna have like some like revelation, like, "Yeah, I found out because of this or that." Oh, I just got a feeling about it. And you've been doing this as long as I have. I got a bigger feeling about it.
I got a feeling, and the only
I
prescription.
got a feeling. Ooh,
Tonight's going to be a bad night.
It's more than
that
a
tonight's
feeling.
gonna be a rat night.
Hey, Cody and Owen, do you think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be supported on the Switch too?
No,
I don't know how that's going to be.
no way, Jose.
And they're saying it's going to.
I don't
They
think
plan on
so.
supporting the Nintendo Switch too.
Fuck them. Fuck you, Rockstar. More like Cockstar.
Hey,
Cause we
look up Mortal Kombat 1 on the
Big
Switch.
Cockstars.
Big
Hey,
porn
hey,
stars.
look-
Fucking
Cody,
15
hey,
bitches out of 16 cars.
Hey, Cody, hey, look how bad Mortal Kombat 1 looks on the Switch. You tell me if Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be able to make it.
Yeah,
Say that right now.
I still don't think it'll, because Switch 2, they're like people are comparing the specs to like a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I doubt it's very good.
It might be able to run it, but
Have-
it's gonna be like a
Compromised version.
right, yeah.
Have the specs come out for the Switch 2
Compromised.
yet?
I don't know. I know they announced it. They were like revealed it or whatever, but I don't know if they announced any like specs. But people with like supposedly with inside information have said that it's comparable to a PS4 Pro. So
One of these days, we need to do a segment where we think the top 3 lines that we've ever seen delivered in all these movies we've watched. To see, like,
What do you think is what is
Like,
what is number one for you in this movie?
not in this movie. It was a former movie.
Oh, okay.
There was not a line in this movie that was like, damn, that was good. This movie, like, is looked at as like so great, but it feels like a TV movie. I would say the one of the greatest lines we've listened to in the last couple movies is when he goes, "Looks like those are the things he shoved up his ass." You know, I keep going back to Butt Boy. I had a conversation for about 2 weeks with coworkers talking about this movie. It's like, it's called Butt Boy? I'm like, yeah, I know, it's not gay, I promise. So, you know,
That's really funny.
these are the things like, dude, he would just stare with his mouth open. This movie, man, I tell you, well, first off, I got to tell you, Cody, you are one of the closest people in my life. You are definitely my best friend. But when you stop a movie 15 seconds before the screen goes black,
I did
so when
not
get on
do
it-
that. I literally, before I told you I was done, I like sat there, I rolled it back to the beginning, and then I
No.
let it play for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then I turned it off. I thought that would be enough
brother,
for it to like
what-
start over.
What did
No.
you do?
So this is what happened, Cody. When it came up to Harvey Keitel's character going, "Woo." This is like, I don't see anything that's going on. So I immediately skipped to the end. I skipped to the end, which is like, I swear to God, man, not even 30 seconds. I skipped to the end. And then when it plays to the last credit and then it clicks off and you click on it, That's when it starts the movie over. But dude,
Okay,
you don't rewind it.
I'll keep that in
You
mind.
go all the way
I'll keep that in
forward.
mind for the future. Like just like skip to the very end and then let it like end naturally. I thought if I just
I gotta make sure.
I thought if I just like
watch
pulled
the
it
movie
back,
before you fucking do.
Please be kind and rewind.
I thought if I just pulled it back to the beginning, it would do that, but I guess not.
No, man. I just next time I gotta make sure I watch the fucking movie before you do.
Well, next
It's
time
like-
the movie's on Hulu, so it don't matter. Like everyone should be able to watch it on their own.
Oh, what movie are we watching next time? Is it your movie next time?
Yeah, we're gonna do the.
Oh,
Mummy.
thank God. Oh man, I have that thing on Blu-ray at my house. I can watch too. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck, man. I think I'm next. I gotta do all this fucking research, but I really don't feel like doing.
No.
And
I'm next.
that-
So
Thank God. I ain't gonna lie. That makes me feel so much better. I'm like, okay, I got a month before I have to do any of my research. No, I keep telling myself, okay, you know what? If you do all your research like 2 weeks before and then watch the movie one time before the episode, you won't be burnt out. And I go, okay, that's a good idea. How about I just don't do it until the night before I do the podcast? And then all of a sudden I got to work that Saturday morning and everything gets fucked up. You want to do that? I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds a little better.
that's the best way to live.
So, dude, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be prepared, but I'm also going to live by the seat of my pants and think back what could have been. So, it's so fucking, I'm like, God, thank God it's The Mummy. I'm like, I would love talking about that movie.
Yeah.
Real quick, Mr. Blue is the old guy with the kind of half comb over / mullet.
Yeah,
He's got the mustache.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he
really
does
talk.
not have anything in this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah,
that
he's just,
guy,
like,
that
there.
apparently that actor's like a actual like felon and shit, but he's like a crime novel writer or something.
He said I committed a crime, so I could
He
so I could do
said-
proper research
He
for
said,
my
"I
novel.
did the time. Now I get to do the line."
Real quick on the budget on this movie for you guys. It was like $1.3 to $3 million, or $1.2 to $3 million. That's a big fucking discrepancy. It only made $2.9 million at the box office.
Yeah, it's not a very big budget. It didn't make a whole lot of movie either. I think this movie got
Isn't it
popular
great?
after Pulp Fiction came out and shit. So
See, that's what I'm saying is like people fell in love with Tarantino, went back and watched this,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh my god, it's fucking
yeah,
amazing!"
I think
bro.
yeah, you're exactly right, Cody. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened.
Isn't it great that Quentin Tarantino is like he was like best friends for like 20 years with Harvey Weinstein and nothing ever fell on him?
He probably
All that
did
shit.
benefit a little bit. He probably got his toes licked or some shit.
Do you think
Uma
that Harvey
Thurman.
Weinstein also jacked off into a plant in front of him?
He gooned into a plant.
Hey Cody, do you think it was a wax plant?
Oh, was it?
It's a fake plant, made out of wax.
Yeah.
Like, with wax and plastic.
I was like, oh, now you gotta clean that up.
Don't worry, it wipes off. The dirt's plastic. Don't worry about it. You just gotta wash it off. This is what I call my jack off tree.
Hey,
And I like to think my seed is going into the root and it's growing,
my
and it's not.
Harvey, what is this? What is this weird crust on the bark of this tree? Oh, that's sap, my dear.
dried sap.
I put your hand on it.
But it smells like a codfish.
Oh my God. Guys, I've got 20 more nuggets waiting for me. What the fuck are we doing?
Something smells.
So-
You know, down here in the South, people years ago decided we're gonna plant like an asinine amount of fucking like dogwood pear or Bradford pear trees or whatever. Do y'all have those around where y'all live?
Are those the ones that smell like nut?
Yeah, yes, that's why I was bringing it up.
Somebody, yeah, some like cum drinker was like, oh, they're like, it's like 1890. They're like, sir, why do you favor these trees so much? And he's like, ho, Reginald, if only
Except
you knew.
the bad thing is these Bradford pears are like planted here like in the last like 15 or 20 years or something. Like it's a relatively like new thing for this area. But yeah,
Hey, Cody.
but they smell like that, but they also smell like cod. I'm being serious. Like cod smells exactly like that, like raw cod.
You talking about fish?
Tasty.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about a scary movie before when you said cod, and it's fucking Kevin Hart and that other guy who does all the sitcoms and the game shows, and they're the rapping guys, right? They're the ones that are like his little sidekicks. Well, they reenact the scene from Brokeback Mountain, and they're like, yeah, we went fishing that weekend, and he's looking at Kevin Hart going, yeah, black cod, and he like takes his hat off with his teeth and shit. So when you said cod, that's what I was thinking about, which is funny because it's semen.
No, I've never
Cody,
smelled
I was
my own
thinking-
nut. I've just been told.
Okay, how about we not talk about that? Let's not talk about that, man. It's all right, you know.
Let's get back to Reservoir
Let's
Dogs.
get back
How
to
about
nut.
that?
No, Cody. Let's talk about invasive tree species. I remember you have that retirement home right across that fence line. You don't like those old people looking at you whacking in the backyard, right?
So I planted a bunch of Bradford pear trees.
So no. We're not doing that. That would be funny though.
And now they can't tell. They can't tell if I'm nutting or if it's just the tree. They don't know.
Hey, it's like so Stephanie's in the house. Did you come again? Or is that the trees? And Cody goes, "It's the trees." He's just fucking gooning upstairs.
Your entire room's just covered with like a thick glaze. Oh, those Bradford pear trees. Shoo-wee. Am I right?
It's like, hey, I'm really glad that I put all these plastic covers on my Blu-ray cases. No, I was saying, Cody, what you could do around that tree line where they're building all those houses in their retirement home, plant a big long line of bamboo. That shit will grow crazy, and no one will see shit.
Yeah, I considered doing that. They haven't actually started building anything in that lot they cleared out. They literally cleared that lot out a year and a half ago. They went through, they burned all the piles of trees that they collected over there, and then literally have not touched it since. So like, I don't know.
Where's it at? Is it behind your house or like?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like that lot is behind and beside my house. Like my property is shaped kind of odd. So like directly from my back door, if you really look straight ahead, the property kind of comes to a point, like directly back. So like
his backyard looks like a baseball field.
Yeah, so to the left of that point would be like the retirement homes or whatever, and to the right is like a big lot,
first base.
Yeah.
which was a bunch of woods, and then they tore a bunch of the trees down, and like I said, they burned them, but then they didn't touch them. So then there's a bunch of overgrowth and stuff that came up over the summer, and you could even see like little trees already sprouting again. It's like, I mean, I hope they don't touch it. You know, fuck them.
That's right.
He's like, fuck them.
Fuck those.
But
old people.
I've already thought that if they do start building stuff over there, that's what I'm gonna do, is just plant a bunch of bamboo. Like if it runs rampant, it runs rampant. I don't give a shit.
It does. You just gotta make sure it doesn't hit your power lines. That shit. I mean, my uncle.
Yeah, I don't have any power lines out that direction.
Okay, my uncle had a. Make sure it's in your city coordinates. I don't know how it works. The city. He planted bamboo behind my granddad's garage, and that shit grew up, and it looked like a scene from the movie Predator. When they're out there, it's like, what the fuck? And that guy, when my granddaddy passed away, the guy who bought his property, who was his neighbor, came to the funeral, and I was asking him, I was like, man, what happened with all that bamboo? And he goes, I had to find somebody that would actually come cut it down and actually take it, and then they can make money off of it too. So he found somebody I actually went to high school with that did it. But yeah, they had to dig that shit up by the roots so it wouldn't come back. Like that shit.
Yeah, because
grew the fuck
bamboo, like people call them bamboo trees, but they're not technically trees. It's technically grass. Like it's a form of grass. That's why it grows so fast. Yes, it grows
Cody,
to be
they call
like
it trees because
what?
Hey, they call it trees because they can't smoke it.
It grows like 20 foot tall or whatever. But yeah, technically, like biologically or whatever, it is a type of grass.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like it would look cool as fuck, you would have like this permanent wood-looking fence that nobody could ever get around.
Yeah, and there's certain species of them you can buy that grow in clusters, so they don't just like grow like fucking to infinity like normal bamboo
And beyond.
does. But I would have to like dig along my fence line and like put like a barrier down in the ground to make sure it doesn't like get into the yard and like start growing random, bamboo in the yard or whatever. But
Yeah, that'd be knucking futs, man.
Should put a sign out that just says, I don't know.
don't touch my bamboo, bitch.
Something offensive to old people.
Do any of you guys know how to communicate telepathically?
I agree.
I've already forgot the joke for that video.
That fucking when Limp Bizkit's talking to Riff Raff.
Yeah, I just don't remember what the response is.
Yeah, well, Fred goes, "I can," and he takes his glasses off and looks at Wes, and he's like staring, and then Wes goes, "There are 4 of them," and he goes, and then it goes to Riff Raff, and he goes, "These guys are knucking futs, man," and I just think about him because the way he pauses, it's like he's doing something with his hands. He looks up at the camera. He goes, "Do any of you guys know how to communicate telepathically?" And he like enunciates his face, and it just dawns like it cracks me up. And Cody took the video seriously, like, yeah, all these guys were has-beens, but Limp Bizkit. And I'm like, no, you're missing the joke of the telepathic thing, man. All right.
Now, I think I used it as an opportunity to comment on the fact that I'd seen a bunch of videos of Riff Raff like performing like garbage at on that tour, to the point where he got basically like booed and rejected so much that he ended up leaving the tour early.
Oh, the poor guy.
And Corey Feldman was also on that tour. He's fucking terrible.
Yeah, that shit's kind of crazy. I feel bad for those guys.
I mean, yeah, but it's like someone's got to tell them, all right? Like someone's got to be like, look, dude, you're not good. Like,
Riff Raff, you are only popular because you look like Jeff Hardy. Like, we have to go ahead and say this right now. That's what everybody compared you to. Is like, hey, he's got Jeff Hardy's look. That's it.
I love the story that Corey Feldman told of like how back when because he was friends with Michael Jackson or whatever, and he tells a story about how he wrote this pop song for Michael, but Michael's like, yeah, I just think you need to go ahead and keep it, do it for yourself. And he's like, yeah, man, I think Michael saw something and believed I could really become a big star and all that. I think he finally recorded it like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's fucking terrible. It's really bad. I think if that story is true, Michael Jackson's probably doing that because he's like, I'm not touching that.
Are you talking about Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like,
star of Friday the 13th, part 4.
Yeah. You need to keep that for yourself. That song's amazing. And he's like, he has his angels, dude. How did Corey Feldman get a bunch of like random bitches to like follow him around?
That's a good question.
It's because he was a movie star, man.
But he's like washed up. So if you're like in only like a couple of movies, you can get like a whole posse of
you
women.
have to, like, I'm not now. Look, I ain't judging the guy.
He in like a very popular '80s movie?
A bunch of them.
Yeah, he was in Gremlins and the Goonies and Stand By Me and shit.
He's in Gremlins. He was in the Goonies.
The Gooners.
He was in Gremlins. The Gooners. Hello Zero. He was in.
He kind of looks like Charlie Sheen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks pretty rough, but Charlie Sheen wears a toupee. That's his real hair. But he was in Lost Boys. He was in a bunch of movies that people like Stand By Me and shit.
He was in The Fox and the Hound.
Child star. Yeah.
The Goonies, the Stand By Me, the Lost Boys. He was in.
Yeah, he was a huge fucking star.
He was Donatello in 2 of the Ninja Turtles movies.
1 and Owen's favorite, part 3. I think he delivered the line says, "Oh man, I just swallowed a frog. I hope that wasn't an ancestor." That's another top 3 line all time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but
Owen got so irrationally mad about that. He goes, "It's not even the fucking same type of reptile family."
looking at his like filmography, it looks like I don't recognize really anything that he was in after Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of fell off again. He was a child actor. You kind of lose the luster when you get older. I mean, he was sexually abused a lot by a lot of adults in Hollywood and shit. And his parents didn't do anything to help him. They stole all of his money and shit like that. So, you know, he had a rough life. He's fucking crazy, but it's not all completely his fault. But yeah, he was a big star, and that's why he was able to get a lot of bitches. But I think he was also somebody else's bitch for a while too. So you know, there's that. But that's kind of fucked up because he was underage. You know.
You said he was somebody's bitch?
Yeah, because I said he was sexually abused. That was the whole thing. He has talked about
Allegedly, he was sexually abused by Michael Jackson.
I mean, Cody, I will say this: he never named. Now, I don't think he was sexually abused by Michael Jackson. It was other people.
Yeah. No, there was literally a documentary that came out a few years ago that was about Michael Jackson. Let me look. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Now,
but
Corey said, okay, he had a bunch of people in a movie theater about to release this documentary they made about his life and his sexual abuse, and then the power went out, and then they never showed it, and then Corey just kind of left because he didn't have a documentary and shit. He'd been promising that for fucking years. I don't think he was sexually abused by Michael.
Okay. I'm confused. I'm confusing two different things. There was a documentary called Leaving Neverland, where people approached Feldman because Leaving Neverland was about the allegations against Michael Jackson, and it was like new allegations against Michael Jackson. And Feldman had said repeatedly that Jackson had never acted inappropriately towards him. And then there was another documentary a few years later that was called The Rape of Two Coreys, which is about, Corey Feldman being abused, and I guess another
Corey Haim
actor that named Corey something.
Corey Haim.
Right. So, and that had nothing to do with Michael Jackson. So I was confusing the two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, Michael Jackson has enough dirt that's, rightfully or unrightfully, who knows, been buried on him for like what he did. Like, I know for a fact, because I know him and Macaulay Culkin said that Michael never did anything appropriate to them. So I didn't want to sit there and falsely say anything about anybody. Like, to me, the details, everybody's details matters to me when it comes to the stories. But, this is a great discussion about Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, let's get back to Reservoir Dogs.
Let's get back to Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Okay, so we had Cody.
Look, there's a robot. Hey, there's a robot. Hey, real quick. There's a robot chicken bit where Michael Jackson is in the city, and they're opening, a museum for him or whatever, and he's doing the stuff, and then like all these billboard signs come alive, and one of them is Big Boy, which is a burger restaurant. Mm-hmm. And Michael sees the name on the restaurant and goes, "Big Boy." And the mayor goes, "Yes, it is a great restaurant." And Michael goes, "Restaurant."
Oh, Lord.
It is so stupid, but when he goes, "Restaurant,"
he goes, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real.
Never meant to make your daughter cry."
Yeah, can we talk about fucking
Outcast?
Yeah, let's talk about Outcast.
Hey,
I think we should talk about Everlast, the rapper.
Have you seen
What It's Like?
Andre 3000? He made a show on Cartoon Network. Remember that?
No.
Yeah,
what show was that?
He did. It's called Class of 3000.
I've never heard of
it.
It
only ran for like maybe a fucking year or two.
Wow, that's weird.
It is. I don't remember anything about it actually, so I don't have any funny stories to tell.
Well, there's Oh, there's anybody ever watched the Eric Andre show?
Yes.
No, I hate that fucking show.
Why do you hate it?
It's fucking stupid.
It's so
It's just-
stupid.
Well, that's the problem. It's like the style of humor goes too far into just like random stupid
Yes.
humor, and I
There-
don't like
there-
The
it.
funniest bit that
There
has
is
ever
a-
been in Eric Andre was when he's on the subway and he's like in a fucking alien outfit and he has like keyboards strapped to his arms and shit and he's walking up to people on the subway and he's holding his hand out in front of them and he goes, Google, send me pictures of this guy's balls. And the dude's like looking up at him like, what the fuck?
For me, there's 3 bits that I think about, and I've seen this highlights of the show. I haven't watched a full episode, but it's when Hannibal Buress, his little sidekick on the show, who's a really good stand-up comedian, is like he's talking to a guest, and he goes, "You ever heard of Waka Flocka at all?" And she goes, "Is that a song or a band?" He's like, "That's a man." And then he's like, yeah, Flocka. And then Eric Andre's like, Flocka. And then he starts doing the song. He's like, beep, beep. He says the N-word. They bleep everything else out. And then there's another one where Hannibal is the host. This old white dude comes out and his dick's out of his pants, but it's blurred out. And he shows up. He's interviewing Nick Cannon. And he goes, Hannibal, I'm your father. And it just zooms in on him. He's staring at him. He goes, what are you doing here, Dad? He's like, he's like, you haven't been in my life. He's like yelling at him. He's like, and you're interrupting the biggest moment of my career, interviewing Nick Cannon, former R. Kelly collaborator, and stagehands let you walk out here with your dick hanging out. And he goes, can I have a hug? He goes, fuck you, Dad. And that's the end of the clip.
He really does.
And then
have
they
his
have,
little cock out. He has like a pair of khakis on, and he has his cock hanging out.
And then they have this old dude from the original Hills Have Eyes. I'm talking about that shit from like the 60s or 70s. And he's an old bald guy who was on TV shows. He's old and white. He's up in the rafters. And they're talking to Tyler, the Creator. And Eric hits a blowhorn. He goes, your dad's here. And Tyler looks up and it's that old white dude that's bald. And it goes back to Tyler, the Creator. He's got a tear going out of his eye and shit. It's so fucking stupid. But the whole fucking, when he yells, he goes, former R. Kelly collaborator. And this is after all the shit with R. Kelly came out. So fucking great. And his dick is like, in stage hands let you walk in with your dick hanging out. He goes, can I have a hug? He goes, fuck you, Dad.
Fuck you, Dad.
I got a couple of, I got a coworker. He's my team lead, and he's black, and I always go to him and like, I hate Marquise. I'm your father. Looks at me like I'm the dumbest motherfucker. He goes, that shit was crazy. I'm like, I know. Oh, shit. Okay, this movie, guys, they say the N-word a couple times, and there's no black people in it. How should we feel about it?
Tarantino just loves putting that in his movies. doesn't he?
It's his favorite word.
You know?
In the next movie, he says it.
Yeah, he goes, you're sounding like an N-word. And I'm like, what in the fuck are we talking about here, people? Like, he just wants to say, like, it's just part of the movie, guys. You know, just got this. I'm like, hold up. No, it's hard. To me, it just feels like,
Unnecessary.
he sneaks it in. Yeah, it does feel like, I'm not even trying to be, like, politically correct, like, when I say unnecessary. Because I don't get mad at someone saying the word, I'm not black. But I also feel like it's disrespectful. And it's like, when you have Samuel L. Jackson saying it in a movie, yeah, cool. Samuel L. Jackson's cool with it. He don't give a fuck. It's a movie. When Tarantino has all white people in his movie, and he's like, you know what? You're starting to sound a lot like a neighbor. And it's like, hold on a second.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Like-
sense in Django because, like, for Leonardo DiCaprio to say it because he's a fucking
Well,
like
yeah,
slave
but-
owner and a piece of shit, you know, like, which not saying that these guys in this movie these characters aren't pieces of shit because they are, but it doesn't. It's just completely unnecessary for this fucking script to have that.
You know, if he had just shot the undercover cop and let the cop actually died, none of this would happen in this movie. Like, that's the amazing thing I sit here and think about. It's like, at the end of the movie, he shoots the guy who's dying anyway.
Hmm.
And then he's dying. He takes the bullet and is dying for this guy. It turns out he was wrong the whole time. First off, I don't know how Harvey's character, Mr. White, gets 2 bullets off to kill the dad and the son.
He doesn't. I think Steve Buscemi's character shoots the son from underneath the ramp.
Oh, does he?
No,
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought what happened was
No, the 3 guys that are standing there in the standoff all fire at the same time. And then Steve Buscemi's character crawls out from underneath the ramp, and he's got a gun in his hand.
But I thought what happened was
Mikey-
that the dad. So Mr. White shoots the dad, and the dad, as he's going down, shoots his gun again, and then
His
shoots
son.
his son. Is what I thought.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because Buscemi, you forget he's there, and he just crawls out, grabs the fucking
Well,
diamonds.
yeah,
and
I mean,
leaves.
he does have a
Like,
gun
okay.
in his hand, but I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it would be his character. Like,
Steven's got a gun. Bow, bow, bow.
leaving out of. Oh, bring us
In
the
the final
facts.
scene
Cumbersome.
in the final, this is a post online, but this is how this person broke it down. In the final scene of the movie,
Break it.
during the Mexican standoff, Joe and Eddie are both pointing their guns at Mr. White, who is aiming at Joe. Mr. Orange is out of ammunition. He's he obviously the undercover cop laying on the ground. Mr. Pink, apart from the rest and off camera, pleads once for calm. Then all hell breaks loose, and Joe, Eddie, and Mr. White are all gunned down within a fraction of a second. There's no way that Mr. White could have shot Eddie so quickly after shooting Joe, and the angle of his wounds doesn't make sense unless, when the shooting starts, Mr. Pink shoots Eddie as he scrambles to take cover under the ramp.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's feasible. That makes more sense to me. I'm like,
But then
it almost looked like.
if you break down like the actual like logistical things of what happened, his blood pack or whatever like actually got set off before it was supposed to or some shit. I don't know, but that's how I perceived it. Because it happened so quick, and then you see Mr. Pink crawl back out from under the thing, and he's got a gun in his hand. So that was my assumption, is that he's the one that shot Eddie or whatever. Yeah.
Could be. I don't believe
And then, of course,
it. Not for a minute.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
And I'm at the end. I'm at the very, very end, because Mr. Pink goes and grabs the bag and he leaves, and then you hear the cops show up, and you hear a bunch of gunfire before Mr. White gets shot. So does that mean, like, do you think that they shot Mr. Pink when he went out the door?
Yeah, I assume he just got aerated by the police.
Because there's like you hear a
officers.
bunch of people like arguing or whatever, and then there's a bunch of gunshots, and then they come in and they shoot Mr. White while he's on the ground. So
Yeah. I have become.
but yeah, I think another thing that kind of
To
like
this
something
world.
that kind of kills the pacing for this as well, is that while I appreciate that they did all the flashback stuff building up to like where they're at, I don't think that they should have done the one for Mr. Orange. I think the undercover cop.
Yeah.
They did it too soon, so it kind of kills any of the tension, because then it's like, oh, okay, so now we know that he is the undercover cop. Like,
Well, they did that after he says he's the cop, though.
what?
Well, he reveals he's a cop to the other
Vega.
cop.
Oh,
Yeah, and then they show his flashback, so it's like that's
See,
all the tension's gone anyway.
Even then, I guess I didn't catch him saying that, but even then, they shouldn't have even done that. I mean, they could have still played it all. It still could have been written to where he shoots the Mr. Blonde, because like he just obviously he shoots him because he doesn't want to see him kill a cop, right? But they could have played it off to where later on, when there is the standoff, he's like, "No, I shot him because I did not want to watch him light a man on fire or whatever," which is what he was about to do.
Yeah. This would be really funny if Cody was like, when he says that, he goes, "I'm an undercover cop," and Cody just thinks he says, "This is my cock." And he's like, I know. And Cody goes,
I
"Why is he
think
talking about
I
his
just
cock
completely
earlier?"
missed him saying that. But see, I think they should have had the standoff and then like revealed the flashback at the end or something of him. Like, oh, he was the undercover cop. But I also think that Joe should have come in with a better reason as to why the fuck he even knew that he was the undercover cop to begin with.
Yeah.
Instead of just coming in and being like, oh, I have a gut feeling about this or whatever. It's like that's not
Yeah.
convincing to me as a viewer, you know.
Yeah.
Joe Mama.
This movie is very, like I said, the action scenes, like the very few we get, like Buscemi running from the cops.
Mm.
That actually was the first thing that got my attention in this movie because everything else was like, And like I said, there's a few things in it was pretty good, but for the most part, like I said, there's no music in this movie except for like 3 or 4 songs. It was a cheap budget. I get that. I'm not judging that, but it's like the movie itself, the substance of it, it was very boring and not like is boring or not interesting, I guess I should say. Like most people look at this movie like, man, this thing is so fucking great. And it's like, okay, I don't look back on this as like rose colored glasses because I love Tarantino so fucking much. I like some of his movies, I don't like the others. Pulp Fiction was fucking great. You know, like the cherry on top of that movie, of course I'm dumb. But the cherry on top of that movie is, you know, the watch up the ass bit. And this movie didn't really have any of that type of like humor for me. Like, or just humor in general that I thought was pretty fucking funny. It was all kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, you know. And then you just see people arguing about like shit we're still arguing about in 2025, which is kind of funny about the tipping of the waitress and shit like that. But most of the other stuff is just like the whole movie is who is the rat while telling flashbacks to all the different stories. I feel like Pulp Fiction does its storytelling when it does that going back and forth thing. He has it perfected already in the second movie, whereas this movie is just kind of like, this feels like a flashback to like an early TV episode.
Yeah, and I mean they could have done better with like, because you know they reveal that he's the undercover cop / the rat or whatever, right? So like when they later do the flashback of when, you know, how he gets shot and everything, you know, he gets shot by the woman and he like just instinctively like, or you know, as a reflex shoots the woman. You can see on his face like, oh, I fucked up because I killed an innocent person. But if they would have done that first and then done like the flashback or like the reveal later on that he is the undercover cop, then it would have had the viewer have something to be like, oh, you know, if he's one of these like kind of scummy ass people, why is he feeling so guilty about killing this person? You know, where it's like, oh, well, we know then because we know he feels guilty because he's the cop. So, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been at least rearranged in a different way to where it would have still kept that tension up through most of the film.
Yeah, the sexual tension is like ruined when I was edging. So, real quick, we gotta let Owen talk about this. Owen, how do you feel about this movie, general overall? What do you like most about it?
I mean, I felt like the out of sequence storytelling like really kept me interested. And I don't know, I always kind of go for the conversational stuff. I just think I like to see how well the actors can kind of act out just like guys bullshitting. And I think they do a pretty good job, and I always find it kind of fun. But overall, no, this isn't my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I find it impressive what he's been able to do with such like a limited budget and keeping it confined to like a couple of scenes, or not scenes, but locations. But yeah, I mean, there was one thing I definitely agree with was shit. What were you saying earlier, Cody, that I agreed with? Fuck.
Was it about like Joe coming in without like any kind of like reason for knowing?
Yes, that one. I do agree with that. I think that could have definitely been fleshed out a little bit. Now that you really, because I didn't really catch it when I was watching it. I think I was kind of too invested in the just kind of the drama of the encounter. But I mean, you know, when you really think about it, it is kind of like, okay, like the payoff isn't as good for him. Like it kind of does feel like Tarantino just needed some way for him to all three get into a Mexican standoff and him to know, but he wasn't interested in like finding out why he knew, basically.
Yeah, and on that same note, I thought about it earlier, I forgot to bring it up, but in that same scene, Mr. White being like ready to go to the mat for Mr. Orange is also kind of confusing, because it's like you don't know this person. I mean, yeah, Joe comes in and he's like, oh, he's the rat, and I understand, like, from obviously as a viewer, and from Mr. White's perspective, he could also be like, well, how do you know? And because he even like says it when Joe's like, oh, I have a gut feeling about this, and he's like, well, you're wrong, but he's not wrong, he's right. It's just he doesn't give like a good reason for knowing why he's right. And Mr. White doesn't really make sense for him to be that fucking defensive about Mr. Orange anyway, because again, they don't really know each other. They've known each other for what, a few days?
Yeah, he's got like I guess his character just has like a big soft spot for this guy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know he kind of like he saw him take the bullet or whatever, and maybe it's the fact that maybe it could be something along the lines of like, oh, well, he knows that he killed that woman and they got the car or whatever. So it's like maybe in his mind he's like, oh, there's no way that he's a cop because he did all these other things. But it's still, I think you're right. I think it was just, this is probably one of those things as a writer, and obviously this is Tarantino's first movie or whatever, but as a writer, it's like, okay, I want to end this movie with this scene, but really didn't have a good way of, or didn't really take the time to like get there the way it should have.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I want to see a movie where Quentin Tarantino directs how somebody makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's him narrating.
He's like, so in 1972, right? This fucking song's about like having like anal sex, and he's like smacking the sandwiches together. He's watching like foot porn on the like other TV. It's playing like 60s music in the background.
Oh, Lord.
He's got like the top 40 from the 60s blaring.
If you ever listen to the top 70s, the guy they have narrating this movie, who's like the radio DJ, is fucking terrible.
Yeah, he's like it sounds like he fucking like popped a perk before he got on air or some shit.
Let me tell you, if you guys like this song from 1974, also I just put a pill up my ass. Enjoy.
He's like,
what the fuck are we doing here?
You put the lime in the coconut.
I have become conversation.
There should be
another
another Quentin Tarantino who puts like post grunge into his movies.
Remember we were at the store, we were working together. I kept singing that song. You're like, I don't think I've heard that. I'm like, I think you have. And then I played it like first like 10 seconds. You go, oh yeah, I have heard it.
Conversation. Who made that?
To this world. It's not a bad song. It's so funny. Like he's mimicking, like Pearl Jam with his lyrics, and it's also like a precursor to Creed almost.
Yeah, he is kind of like doing an Eddie Vedder kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys? Cody did. I know. I mainly sent for Cody and Owen. I hoped Owen would watch it too. But it's like what Creed, that song would sound like, and anytime it zooms away from the band, you don't hear anything. But
I've seen that video, and like it shows like the rocks like falling. All you can hear is the rocks falling. I've seen that video. It's so fucking funny.
What it would really sound like.
What song is that? Is it One Last Breath?
No, it's not One Last Breath. It's like it's something else.
Is it Arms Wide Open or whatever?
Hold on, I'm about to find out. I'm gonna look at the link I sent you guys.
Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking.
I keep sending you guys the fucking Morbius and Nosferatu fucking battle on like box office. It is One Last Breath. You're right,
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah. So it's like when it shows Scott Stapp close up, it's like hold me now, and then like it shows like the camera's like way zoomed out. It's like I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking, and there's like no music around him because there's none of the other like band members aren't like with him on that rock.
So fucking good, man. I swear.
It just cuts to the guitar players. It's just like so,
And then it cuts away.
Stupid.
I swear, like sometimes the internet fucking wins, man. It really does. There's a man. Oh, man. I guess we're getting.
I saw one with that song. It was like a video, like what if it was performed by Hank Hill or whatever. So like someone did the Hank Hill singing voice for that song.
Some dude was like, they had a Maroon 5 song. He was like, what this song would sound like if it was sung by Korn. He's like, and he figured it out and he did it real quick. It's pretty good, like pretty funny shit that some people can do. I guess we get in our recommendations of this movie if you guys want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to Owen. Are you anything else you want to talk about with this movie?
Nah, I've become cumbersome.
To this world, to this movie.
Yeah, we can go ahead. Do you guys want me to start?
Oh, we'll go ahead and start because I'm sure you'll be the positive.
Yeah, just save me for the last.
All right, Cody, do you recommend Reservoir Dogs?
No, I can't. I think it's too plotting and to me it doesn't have a very satisfactory like conclusion. So,
for me, Reserve Dogs is I can't recommend it because similar reasons. For me, there wasn't enough in this movie that kept me interested. I would say the script for me watching it is pretty weak compared to like Pulp Fiction, and I get it. Like it's his first movie, and he improved greatly. But when you watch Pulp Fiction and you go into this thinking like, "Hell, this movie's gonna be a banger," I'm like, it was a letdown. Like if I had walked in this movie not expecting anything, maybe it'd been a little bit different. But I walked into The Big Lebowski with no expectations, and that movie's fucking killer. And like this movie, just there's nothing in it that was memorable, like whatsoever. Like all like the dialogue, if it wasn't talking about the, like who's the rat, all the other dialogue for me is just bleh. So I don't recommend the movie. Owen.
Sexy. Yeah, I'll recommend it. I liked it for what it was. It was pretty low budget, and most of the action kind of only took place in really a couple of sets. But I think that I don't know, the dialogue was pretty cool. I liked the out of order storytelling; really kept me interested. And I think the actors are really good, and they had a really good chemistry. And I thought they did pretty well. So yeah, I liked it. I recommend it, at least for a watch or two, like a one watch or something.
Okay. So Cody, your next movie is gonna be The Mummy from 1932, right?
Yeah. No, it's The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser.
Mummy
From 1974.
Mummy
1974.
man.
Cody says it's
What?
from 1974.
No. It's what,
Is
when
that
did
is that the
movie come
Hammer
out?
movies?
2000.
Is it
come out
the
like-
Tom Cruise one in
and
2017?
It couldn't be too far in the 2000s, right? Because Scorpion
No, it's
King was like,
1999.
1940.
okay. Because I was gonna say Scorpion King was like what 2001, 2002.
Oh wait, so no, this movie came out in what want to say 97.
Damn, really?
The Mummy, because you have The Mummy Returns comes out, and that's like 99.
Yeah, and that's the one that has the Scorpion King as like the villain, right? The second one.
Yeah.
So the first one's 99. I just looked it up.
Okay. That's what I was thinking it was, and then y'all had me doubting it. And the second
Yeah.
was 2001. Scorpion King's 2002.
Yeah, but Scorpion King had one of the coolest fucking soundtrack songs of all time at that point.
Which is
The Godsmack song.
I Stand Alone by Godsmack.
Ah!
Yeah.
Stand alone.
Move alone while standing.
I'm not the one who's so far away.
Far away, not into my baby.
And then they made like 5 or 6 Scorpion King sequels that are all like straight to DVD garbage.
Never do I
Well,
want to watch
here's a little-
them again.
Cody's like, we're gonna watch this entire series, baby.
I'm going to try and stick with that. I'm going to try and stick with us watching all 3 of the Mummy movies and Scorpion King. The first Scorpion King,
no.
not the rest of them.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh,
That'll
no,
actually
like,
be
no,
pretty
Cody, we
interesting.
don't have
I've
to
never-
do the Scorpion King movies.
What?
I said we don't have to do the Scorpion King movies. All of them. We're good, Cody. That's all right. I'm just kidding.
I just want to do the first Scorpion King, like after we do the Mummy Returns. But
Look,
I don't care about
I
don't care about all the other Scorpion King movies after that.
I will say this because I was intrigued because I love the first Mummy movie, and I remember the Mummy 2 or the Mummy Returns, and people were talking about it, I hadn't seen it. They said, "Yeah, the Scorpion King's half man, half scorpion body," and my mind instantly went to like Motaro in Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Annihilation, half human horse body with like a dragon tail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, that must be like, how similar is that? And then you get to the Scorpion King and the Mummy Returns, and I'm like, how does Mortal Kombat Annihilation, as shitty of a movie as it is, nail the Motaro look from every aspect you look at it?
Well,
and this big budget, the Mummy Returns, fucks the Scorpion King completely up.
Didn't they use like stop motion or something for Motaro?
Well, no, there's some CGI in it, but it's the trick is you see him, and then the horse part of him, they zoom up quickly to his upper torso. Like I say, it's not all completely clear. The Motaro scenes, like some of it looks kind of janky, but he still is like the human is still performing the human part of it, whereas The Rock is this big CGI fucking thing based off like SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah,
or SmackDown 2.
He looks like a SmackDown shut your mouth model on a scorpion body.
Yeah, SmackDown. Hey, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth looks way better than that. That would be the first SmackDown game on PS2. Which one was that?
Just bring it.
Shut your
Yeah,
mouth.
Just Bring It. It looked like Just Bring It. Just Bring It. You know, Cody, that's a game that's never talked about because
I
it
hate
still
that
had
game.
all the like mechanics of the PlayStation 1 SmackDown games, but it
felt like crap. Like I don't know what it was because trust me, like growing up, like I played the shit out of SmackDown 1 and 2, and I was super excited finally getting a PS2, and I got SmackDown Just Bring It, and I was like, this game does not, even at that young of age, I'm like, this doesn't feel good to play. Like something was off about it. So I basically just went back to playing SmackDown 1 and 2 until Shut Your Mouth came along, and it was like, okay, now we're like here. Yeah, I am going to climb up on the SmackDown fist and do fucking 35 Swanton bombs off of it in one match.
What about Here Comes the Pain?
I'll say this, man.
I love Here Comes the Pain.
I'll say this,
awesome.
Like all those SmackDown games, like one, I never played one. I did have SmackDown 2, and I never played Just Bring It. I had SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I was super excited about that game. But SmackDown Shut Your Mouth was the first one when Jeff Hardy went the Swanton, when he would actually hit you with the move instead of that where he just kind of hit you on the ground. You know, it would land on you, have an animation.
Yeah, like the opponent would actually kind of like fold up when he got hit, as opposed to like
you would actually
you
would actually just land.
It's like this confusing thing that in the early games, it's like, did this even hit? Like, did it do anything?
Yeah, like and the other games like SmackDown 2. Jeff always had like the quote unquote the senton bomb, which he doesn't do the Hardy symbol, but he does the exact same move, and it doesn't land on you where you have the animation; it just hits you. You can be standing up; it doesn't matter. And I remember, I tried so fucking hard on SmackDown 2 on PlayStation to get a table set up, them thrown on a table, get Jeff Hardy up a ladder to do a swanton. And I couldn't do the regular swanton, but you could do the regular one. And I hit it one time when I threw him on the announce table, and it actually fucking worked like I wanted to. But SmackDown Shut Your Mouth was the first one that had, that animation. And then unfortunately, Jeff got released before Here Comes the Pain came out, and he was on the first advertisement.
Yeah,
like the advertisement. There's a
love,
video of them.
Yeah, I love like reading about all that kind of stuff, all that like cut content stuff. But Here Comes the Pain was like a big one because not only was Jeff like in the game and they removed him before it was released, but so was a like 1980s version of Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Yeah.
Dude, I remember reading about that, and I was sick to my stomach when I found out, like, they're not in the game. And that was one of the greatest games ever. Like, if Warrior and Jeff were both in that game, like, completely put in the game by the people who made the game, that would have been that would have been my favorite wrestling game of all time, because Jeff in that game would have had his glow-in-the-dark face paint over his forehead and his arm that had a different design every time. And Warrior, it would just been fucking sick. Those are my two favorite guys. And it's like, you had the first time you could get blood in the game. Fucking all the moves were fucking sick. They even had a Jeff Hardy move set. All you had to do was select the move set when you created him, and he had every move he had in the last game. It was perfect.
Yeah, well, because all the assets were there.
Moveset.
They just couldn't. They officially couldn't like put him in the game because he got released or whatever. But Here Comes the Pain was also like one of my favorites. That was as a kid who grew up an Undertaker fan of the Dead Man Undertaker, right? Like the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker.
That was the first one in like 6 years that had him in it.
What?
That was like one of the first one in like 5 or 6 years that actually had Dead Man Undertaker in it.
Yeah, it had like the old school one, like from the early '90s or whatever. But still, it was like, because other than that, you just had like the fucking
Ministry of the Darkness one, and then American Badass.
It wasn't. It was like his big red evil or whatever the fuck he was called. Like, it wasn't American Badass with the blue vest and all that. It was like at that point he was wearing like, like the T-shirt with like the big red devil on it. I'm pretty sure that was the Undertaker in it.
That was that one. That was Shut Your Mouth. But I think the last Undertaker that had the purple gloves was either WWF Warzone or the game before that. I don't know if Warzone he was already all black before Ministry of Darkness, and I know there was a game or two where he was Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, which is the same but not. Yeah. And then you had the blue vest Undertaker the rest of the time with Kid Rock. Are you scared? He's here.
Yeah, see, that was the one. That was the one in SmackDown 2.
Yes.
And then like,
did SmackDown Know Your Role have Limp Bizkit rolling in it? Not Know Your Role. The Just Bring It.
Just Bring It. Yeah, Just Bring It had Roland in it, and it had Fred Durst as an unlockable character.
That that was his payment for them to use Undertaker. I'm sure they got a little money for it, but for them to use the Undertaker, like the music for Undertaker, he wanted to appear in 2 video games. So it was Just Bring It, and he was also in that WWF Raw 2 they released on Xbox exclusively.
Yeah.
That's where they just dumped a bunch of characters on it.
It is funny, and like I don't think Roland has been in like any of them since.
No, and that's his best fucking theme as the Badass. It's better than that shit they wrote, and it's better than Kid Rock.
So good. But it's funny, it's not like they can't get the license, because like in SmackDown or in 2K24, if you use the 2001 Steve Austin, it's the Disturbed theme song. So it's not like they can't pay for the license for like these songs, right? Like, which that's the song called I used in that game, because that theme song's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. It still feels weird, like when you know the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme song, and then the Disturbed. Like, for me, the Drowning Pool version of Triple H's theme song was fucking awesome. I actually like it better than the Motorhead version.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, the Disturbed singing Austin was just kind of weird, because you go back and watch like his classic matches, or his matches. Like, I never watched WrestleMania 17 at the time it came out, because I like I said, there was a dead period in wrestling where I probably saw a few episodes after like November '98 when Warrior disappeared again, and then I picked it back up in like February, March 2002, right before WrestleMania 18, and so I missed like the Disturbed and like the latter era of the Attitude era, the before Ruthless Aggression, if you will, and I missed all that. So when I saw the Disturbed thing, I was like, oh yeah, it sounds awesome. It just feels weird for him to come to the ring to that, because it throws everything off. But they were trying all that. It's cool. It's a big pop culture thing they were doing. So I ain't got a problem with it. I just think it was kind of weird that Disturbed would do it because Steve said his theme song was based on a Rage Against the Machine. That's what he was wanting, and that's what Jim Johnson actually hit. So for it to go from like Rage Against the Machine inspired to just a Disturbed song is just kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were fucking. I mean, I love Disturbed. I'm not saying anything bad. It's just weird that was a different choice. Yeah. Nah, it's okay. People like this shit, Cody. I know you don't think they do, but they love it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's so weird, man. Logan jumped from like 2 listens on Spotify to 14 like overnight, and then it just stayed there. All right, so Cody, your next movie is The Mummy from 1994. Oh, sorry, 1934. Boris Karloff and a bunch of other people that are dead. And my next movie will be Friday the 13th, Part 7, A New Blood. He's back again. And then, Owen, what's your next movie in a month and a half?
We'll see.
No, we need to know
It's
right
the
now.
movie.
Owen, I'm gonna start
It's the
holding you
movie
accountable.
We'll See.
Okay. Everyone, this episode's been a hot mess. I'm sure Cody will edit it down where it sounds even more like a hot mess, just very jarring. And for anybody out there that wants to talk politics, you can hit up Cody's burner account on X. He loves to talk politics and games. Owen has an OnlyFans where he talks about politics. You can hit them up. If you want to contribute to our Patreon, it's PayPal/Enigmatic Vein. And but no, thank y'all for listening this far. Like and share the podcast. Subscribe. You probably don't want to let them see this episode as the first one. You want to give them a good one first, and then and thank you for listening. And as always, finish him.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Owen, you gotta say off.
Finish him off. Sorry.
There you go. Bye, everybody.